centering ourselves on the breath, inhaling in, and slowly exhaling out through the nose. Taking a picture of how we feel in this present moment. That can be how our minds feel, how our bodies feel, how our hearts feel. And notice the quality of your breath. Does it feel smooth or more rough? Can you extend the inhale and extend the exhale? Maybe tucking the chin slightly, lengthening the back of the neck. And we'll take 3 more breaths here, really expanding through the ribs in all 3 dimensions. Imagine that the hips can also expand, the pelvis can expand just a little bit. And on our last exhale, imagine those shoulders and shoulder blades dropping just a centimeter more. And slowly, when you're ready, you can open those eyes. And we're going to begin to draw some circles. So using those hands as support, we can start actually by looking up or forward and then looking down, curving that spine towards the back. Maybe you crack your hips. And sensing how it feels like to move from the center of our bodies, right? So for us women, we talk about moving from the belly button, but wherever that center is for you. And then we'll go the other way, so push back. Coming to stillness. Let's inhale those arms up. And gently take a twist, placing the right hand across the left leg. Looking down. And inhale, arms up. And exhale, other side. Being gentle as we get started. And coming back to neutral. Let's place that right hand over the left ear. And extend past this left arm. So we're stretching the side of the neck, but also the shoulder. One breath. And gently alternate to the other side. Beautiful. Interlacing those fingers, we'll place them behind the neck. And still imagine that we have a tiny space between the chin and the sternum. You can stretch the upper back and neck. Inhale here. And release. And one more. And bringing those fingertips to tap the floor, releasing that. We'll transition to all fours. So that's our hands underneath the elbows, elbows underneath the shoulders, knees underneath those hips. And let's draw circles with those hips to the left. Spreading those fingers as wide as we can. And switch, drawing some circles to the right. Beautiful. Coming back to neutral, we'll start moving into our cat and cow. So take a big breath in and imagine that spine lengthening. So the crown of the head going in one direction and the tailbone going in the other direction as you press away from the earth. Inhaling here. And then moving at your own pace, sending your gaze up into our cow, if that feels good. And exhaling into our cat. Two more. Noticing the quality of our touch between our palms and the mat, and our legs and the mat. Nice. Next time you're in cat here, we're going to tuck those toes, take a big breath in, keeping that spine as curved as we can. We're going to come into our floating tabletop, knees hover off the mat. We'll stay here for 3 collective breaths. So inhaling. And on each exhale, imagine that you can let go of any point of tension that you feel. 2 more. One more. And then extend back into downward dog. Nice. Allowing those heels to meet the earth. Spreading those toes, widening those fingers. Let's shake the head no. And nod the head yes. Let's lift that left arm up, extend, and take a gentle twist. So send that arm to the opposite leg, either the ankle, the thigh, wherever feels good. And gently pull towards the leg. And after one breath, we'll switch. Reaching that right arm out, taking a twist to the other side. And coming back to neutral. Let's lift that right leg up, 3-legged dog. Bending that knee, and we'll draw some circles with the knee in the air going outwards, really inviting a sense of length across that right hip. So instead of thinking of any sort of pulling towards the center or contraction, we want to think of creating space in the joints. And then take those circles the other way. Beautiful. And let's come back, 3-legged dog, bending that knee. And extend, 3-legged dog. And we'll come to bring that leg in a lunge, right leg in front. Are you doing okay? Yeah. And let's allow the back knee to touch the mat as we gather energy in between our hands going up. And exhale, reach those arms back, stretching the front body. And then come forward, tapping fingertips on the mat. And one more time. Inhale down. And back. Beautiful. Coming to neutral. If you can, we're going to tuck the back toe, lifting up into our runner's lunge. And we're going to open up the twist towards the right side. And inhale up. Exhale into a T. And inhale. towards the left corner of the mat. Beautiful. Inhale here. And exhale, drop those shoulders. And 2 more breaths. One more. And on this exhale, open up to warrior 2. Inhale, reach the arm forward. And reverse the warrior, coming in to allow that arm to go up and over the head. And front, inhale. 2 more just like that. Can you create space in between your ribs? And then last one. And coming back over to. We're going to rotate those arms down. Place them on the inside of this right leg. And we'll take a stretch here. This is called lizard lunge. So if you want, you can rock back and forth. Are we doing okay? Yeah. And let's open up this right leg. So rotate so the toes maybe spill over the mat. And we're going to take a twist. So lifting that right arm, and we'll reach it to the back. If you feel comfortable, you can rotate on the outer edge of this back leg, and hopefully you feel a stretch on the side of your left leg. Do we feel it? Yeah. And inhale. Let's create an arch with the arm. Inhale, and exhale back. Dropping those hips. Inhale. So I'm pressing into that left palm. Last one. And then return back, lunge. We'll send the leg back into our plank. And let's pause here for 3 collective breaths. Really pressing away from the earth. On your next exhale, we'll bend those elbows, coming into the chaturanga. Obviously, if you can't go all the way down, you can modify reaching up. And let's come back into a brief child's pose. If child's pose is not available, taking a seat. And as we're here, maybe you want to rock the forehead side to side on the mat. If it's there, giving yourself a little massage on your temples. And I want us to come back to what we wrote. And I would like us to envision our intention for class. It can be whatever you choose. I found it so beautiful that some of us were saying we found the beauty in what maybe is a weakness. So whatever you feel you need to transform any of those weaknesses into strengths, I invite you to set that intention now. Two more cycles of breath here. One more. And whenever you are ready, we'll come back to all fours, tucking those back forward, taking a big belly breath in, and exhale, lifting back into our downward dog. Let's bend the right knee, stretching the left leg a little bit more, and switch, bend the left knee. And planting both heels on the earth. ready, we'll draw circles with that knee outwards. And inwards. And again, I really invite you to find space in the front of that hip joint. It's about finding length and breadth in the movement. And then coming back, three-legged dog. Inhale here. And exhale, we'll transition to a lunge with that left leg in front now. Inhale those arms up. And exhale, maybe you take a little back bend. And inhale, tap those fingertips on the mat. And exhale. And two more. And one more. And coming back to neutral. If you want the extra challenge, we'll tuck that back toe, lifting the back knee, inhaling here. Exhale, we open to the left side, and inhale up. Two more. How can we find stability through the movement? Last one. I'm shaking too. Warrior one. Plank that heel. So the front knee is bent, and this back leg is at almost a 45-degree. Maybe we close our eyes for these next 3 breaths here. And notice how we feel. Warrior two, and we're facing the mirrors. So, as much as I don't like using the mirrors, maybe we can use them as a tool today to see how our front knee creates almost like a right angle. So maybe we can go a little further. And notice how we can really spread those fingers and extend to both sides of the room. Feeling our centeredness of our spine. We're going to inhale and reverse, coming back towards the warrior. And reach. And come back. Two more. And last one. Moving back, warrior two. We'll rotate those arms all the way. And let's start by placing both palms on the inside of that left leg. If you want to rock back and forth, deepening the stretch in this left lunge. Let's take 3 breaths here. When you're ready, we'll allow those feet to spill over the mat. So we turn out the left leg. We place the right palm in the center of our mat, and we allow this left arm to go up and over. Maybe we rotate on those legs. And inhale, pressing into this arch. Reaching the arm overhead, and exhale, deepening the stretch. 2 more, just like that. Feeling what it feels like to be so strong with our bodies, strong with our minds. And come back all the way. Send that left leg back, plank. And bend those elbows. Shake the head no. If you have hair, really feel the hair. Feel no. Not your head, yes. And let's step or hop to the front of the mat. Grabbing opposite elbows and swing side to side. And then placing those hands maybe on the thighs. Flat back. And release down, forward fold. We're gonna roll up in an 8 count, vertebrae by vertebrae. Inhaling at the bottom. And exhale for 8, coming up to standing. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pausing in mountain pose. Maybe we rotate those palms to face the front, coming back to that intention. That intention is coming true. Let's take a gentle side bend. Maybe you bring those feet to touch and think of reaching up and over to the right. And coming back to center, reaching up and over to the left. And let's take a back bend. So reaching up. And pressing into the balls of the feet, we reach back bend. Beautiful. We separate those arms and then bend those knees, coming into chair pose. Bring those palms to heart center. And allow those hips to sink a little deeper. So we bend, we soften at the ankles, soften at the knees. And let's take a gentle twist to the right. And to the left. We're going to take a couple of these rotations. So rotate to one side, finding balance in those knees and the other. How long can you make that side? 2 more. Last one. And gently come up. Stand those legs. And swan dive down. Reach those arms side to side. Maybe those hands come to the shins, pop back up. Release down, forward fold. Step or hop into your plank. And then exhale, chaturanga to flow through our vinyasa. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, down. How are we doing? Are we okay? Yeah? Okay. So we're going to take that one more time, a little faster. Exhale, step or hop to the front of the mat. Hands come to the thighs this time. Inhale, flat back. Forward fold. This time, reverse swan dive up. So as if you were coming out of the water, leading with your nose. Touching fingertips to fingertips, reaching up and over side bend. And neutral. Reaching up and over to the left. And neutral up. And gently twist the back. Coming back up and releasing down, swan dive down. Let's leave maybe those fingertips on the mat, flat back up, and stepping or hopping back into our knees, flowing through our vinyasa, going through our chaturanga to upward facing dog. Let's look to our left toes, And switch, look towards the right. And then exhale back, down, down. Pausing here for 3 collective breaths to notice how we feel in the downward dog. Now that last exhale, step or hop to the front of the mat. We're going to bring those feet to touch and allow the joints to soften. We'll bring those arms behind us in our chair. So Indigo, you can bring those legs together if that feels okay. Beautiful. In our chair, we're going to extend up, bring those arms up. If you want an extra challenge, we'll come to, in dance speak, we call this releve. We'll come up to our toes. And then heels down, sending everything back, chair pose. And we're going to come into what we call a flying chair pose. So here, we'll lift up onto the balls of the feet, lifting those heels up in the air for 3, for 2, and 1. Heels down, extend up. We'll take that one more time if you want the extra challenge, lifting up onto releve. And heels down, coming back into our chair. If you want one more time, lift onto the balls of those feet. For 3, for 2, and 1. Last time, maybe try closing your eyes. And lifting up to releve. It's crazy how that can feel so different. And bring those heels down. Last time, we're going to come back to chair, arms behind us. And we are going to come yet again, if you want, onto the balls of those feet. And I'm going to give us an option for a balancing pose if we want here. Indigo, we will definitely not be doing this, but for everyone else, this is called crow pose. So from here in our chair, we're going to bring those arms towards the mat. And when we're on releve, we allow, as much as we can, those knees to fit in the armpits, essentially. And we balance our weight past our fingers. If you want, you can play with that. Otherwise, everyone's like, no. If we're not going to do that, that's okay. Let's come back into our plank. And coming down all the way, and we're just going to roll over onto our backs. Bending those knees first, placing those fingers long by our sides. Inhale here, and exhale, peel those hips up into a bridge, lifting those hips up, and coming back down, massaging the back. 2 more just like that. And exhale, coming up. And relax down. And 1 more. And down. If we want to take this back bend further, we'll come into a full wheel, which essentially is when we come up onto those hands, stretching my back. This little wheel pose. If you want to know, we can take another bridge. Let's pause here for 2 breaths if you're here in a full wheel. One more breath. And slowly coming all the way down to the mat. We'll cross that right ankle over the left, taking a figure 4 stretch. the stretch by bringing that left leg towards the heart. And notice here as we begin to stretch, laying down, our contact with the earth. What can you let go of? I always notice that I can let go more of my shoulders. And if you want, extend this leg all the way up and reach towards those toes maybe. Or holding the back of the leg and gently pulling it towards us. And then coming back, both legs on the mat. Let's pause here. Closing those eyes and notice how the right side feels. Notice how the left side feels. And when you're ready, we'll cross that left ankle over the right knee, taking the figure four stretch on the other side. Gently cradling the back of this right leg. And if you want, we can extend this right leg, either reaching towards the toes or the shin, and gently bringing that leg towards us. And releasing everything down. Let's bring those arms to a T and allow the knees to rock to the right side. Taking a spinal twist, the eyes and the gaze can go to the left. And really, as we're here, invite those hips to rotate with the legs so we create a deeper stretch in our back. It's not only the knees that rock to the right side, but we allow the left hip to follow that movement. And then coming back, legs to center as we roll to the other side. Our gaze goes to the back wall. Again, inviting this top hip, the right hip, to follow the movement of the knees so you deepen that spiral. Beautiful, coming back to center. Let's take a happy baby, so either those arms can come in front of those heels or behind the heels, whatever feels good for you. Maybe you want to rock side to side. And then let's pause whenever you find stillness and really allow the spine to relax on the mat. Our spine has natural curves, especially for our friend Indigo here, even more curves when we're pregnant. So how can we support those curves and offer them support? So it's not only about finding length in our spine for better posture, but it's also identifying ways to support ourselves so that standing, dancing, walking can feel easier. And naturally our spine is going to lengthen. 3 more breaths here. One more. And slowly allow those legs to extend long on the mat. And then shake those legs out a little bit. And if you want, I'll invite you to take one more spinal twist so you can take the left leg across, either keeping the knee bent or extending it, whatever feels good. And see if you can go just a little bit deeper than this last time when we had both our knees bent. Can you notice a point of tension and imagine it loosening up like you're undoing a knot, maybe undoing a shoelace. And then slowly switching to the other side. Right leg across. And slowly coming back to our final resting posture. In yoga, we call it shavasana. Either the legs can be long, or if you want to continue stretching those hips, we can bring the feet to touch and allow those knees to bend out. Or we can stand on the soles of our feet, whatever feels good for you today. Begin to find a sense of peace, closing those eyes. And taking another mental picture, maybe comparing it to how we felt in the beginning of the class. Focusing back on the breath. Especially allowing the earth to support us. We're going to come around and offer some hands-on support. a sense of gratitude and deep respect for choosing to be here today. Honoring ourselves. And lastly, before we close class, I'm going to come back again to this collective intention and truly allow us to feel the strength and to feel the power to reframe any negativity, any weakness that people may throw onto us as a superpower, as a unique strength. Because ultimately it is only ourselves that can define our lives. And when we start to live by that, and we start to honor that, we can shift the reality. And slowly, when you're ready, begin to bring movement to the body, wiggling those toes, those fingertips. Maybe you take a yawn, or good morning stretch. Bending those knees, elbows. And yeah, when you're ready, we'll come back to a cross-legged position. There's no rush. Come back to center. Inhaling those arms up overhead. Maybe you close those eyes as we tap palm to palm. Exhaling as we draw a line for our center. 2 more just like that. How easy can you make this movement? And last one. Capturing something beautiful in between our palms. We'll gently bring those thumbs to tap the forehead or third eye, honoring our wisdom. Tapping our lips, honoring our truth. And lastly, tapping our hearts, honoring our love. I want to thank you guys for taking class with me today. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. How are you feeling? Good.